Bellingham is fortunately starting to shine. And luckily, I think Real Madrid is going to benefit a lot from it. Let's discuss the most relevant topics from this parole weekend. Hello everyone, how are you? Well, here we are with a new video, a new week. By the way, some of you already know, right? I'm uploading some videos on a channel in English, right? For those of you, well, who don't understand Spanish, right? And you are fans of Real Madrid and you want to stay informed, right? Through me, well, with the information I have and also my opinion, right? My view on Real Madrid. The thing is, well, it has been quite a quiet weekend break, as usually happens, right? Logically. Well, it completely separates club football, leading to a very quiet weekend. Well, it allows people to really disconnect. And I confess I haven't watched the Real Madrid players' matches, but I have informed myself about them. We saw a golden horde, and in Turkey, there's quite a debate about whether or not it's beneficial for him to be at Real Madrid at this point in his career. The coach, Vincenzo Montella, says that it has taken goals away from him. What is your opinion on this? What is your opinion on the player Camavinga? He got a yellow card and will miss the second game, which is great news because Camavinga will already be in training with the rest of the teammates who, well, are either returning from national duties or stayed in Madrid during the international break. Brahim, great performance with 2 goals and more records. Well, in the end, some performances are better, some worse. But ultimately, well, no physical problems at the moment. And I think the best news has been about Bellingham, right? Bellingham, he had a great match on the first day. And yesterday, in the game against Ireland, there were 2 good pieces of news, right? An excellent game with a penalty drawn and 2 assists. And a yellow card that will make him miss the first game of the March break. Hopefully, this will result in him not even being called up or perhaps returning. Well, or if they call him up, at least he will only play 1 match, right? You see the things we have to often be happy about, well, in this overuse that comes from the national teams, from the federations. But anyway, the second piece of news, the good one, which I think might have a direct implication for Real Madrid. Bellingham seems to be returning to his best form, as we've seen in the recent matches with Madrid, where, for example, against Osasuna, he played, I believe, since the European Super Cup, Europe. He hadn't played such a good match with Madrid, and we confirmed it with England. And this player, truly, he needs to be treated for what he is, which is a star, a true star. And I believe that Ancelotti, one of the big mistakes he's made this season, is not giving him that star treatment that, based on his level, he deserves. I don't want to see Bellingham chasing the opponent's left back, stuck on the right wing, and, well, being unnatural in that position. I want to see Bellingham with freedom of movement, of course, with work and defensive assignments, responsibilities, because ultimately he contributes a lot in that area. And also because in elite football, you can't afford to have several players on your team not run, okay? Of course, Bellingham needs to work hard. Of course, Bellingham must do that defensive work because he is very well equipped for it. But he has to do it in his position, and he has to do it with purpose. And I believe that Bellingham's position at Madrid is in the midfield, with a lot of freedom to move, with the possibility to drift both to the right and to the left. But primarily, to focus more through the center to balance the movements, right? Sometimes of Mbappé, you know, who tends to break away to the outside at certain moments, also compensating for the movements of Vinicius and being a constant surprise from the second line, which is precisely what he did the other day against Osasuna with the amazing goal he scored. Raúl Asensio noticed Bellingham's run, and it really surprised the opponent because it's a very difficult move to defend. The defense usually focuses on the forwards, and when a player of this kind comes from the second line, it's really hard to stop, honestly. So I think that we have, right? Real Madrid needs to find the keys to get the most out of Bellingham. I'm not going to ask Bellingham to do the same as last year, where he scored, I think it was 24 goals or 23 goals and provided many assists. I am not going to ask for that because I think it's unrealistic, right? To expect that a midfielder can provide you with that. But yes, I do believe that he needs to have much more offensive presence. He needs to, well, to appear more frequently in positions where he can score goals, but not just for the goals he may score this way, not just for the assists he may provide, but also for the distraction this creates in the defense, the unpredictability it generates, and how this also benefits the goal presence. Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Mbappé. Players who will benefit from those dragging, deceptive, and confusing movements by Bellingham. Additionally, in that position, Bellingham becomes a key factor when it comes to pressing, when it comes to intercepting in the opponent's half, and when it comes to disrupting the opposition's play from the back. I think it's crucial, it's really imperative that Bellingham quickly returns to that position. As the match against Osasuna was a great reference for it, I believe Ancelotti shouldn't deviate much from what he did that day. Because the team really felt comfortable beyond the fact that the team came together in the face of difficulties, injuries, and adversity. Beyond that, Madrid tactically looked quite comfortable from the first minute, right? And probably Madrid is crying out for the team to come together. Well, so there are three attackers, just like the team started that day. And Bellingham, as I said, appears somewhat more behind, but with that freedom, with that physical display, which is what his body naturally asks for, right? Look, we're talking about a player who is 21 years old. Let's not forget that. I am not going to ask him to be the absolute leader of Real Madrid. I am not going to ask him to shoulder all the responsibility like he did at several points last season. But yes, the conditions must be created so that much of what happens with Real Madrid depends on Bellingham's performance. He is truly a player who will always benefit from being enhanced, who will always benefit from being given a bit of help. And well, I think this is very clear, right? I don't think there can be much discussion about this in this management, in this situation. And I want to stop seeing Bellingham frustrated because things aren't working out, because he gets exhausted chasing the opponent, because he's far from the positions where he is most effective. I want to see a Bellingham, well, who? Let him get frustrated, but in his position. Let him get upset when things don't go well, but while being in his position, having the ability to change the game, right? To improve things. That's kind of the goal I think Real Madrid should have. And well, I'd like to know what you all think too, right? Well, the second part of the season with Bellingham at Madrid, and if you agree with me that he can be the main area for improvement beyond other things, because Mbappé clearly needs to give much more than he is giving. But well, Bellingham is something we've already experienced at Madrid. We've already seen an incredible version of him. And I believe we should aim to see that once more. So, without further ado, I say goodbye. I look forward to your comments. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A big hug.